Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while once again, but I am still trying to get settled in and I have still been dealing with this car situation. So in my last vlog, I told you guys that my first car, the BMW, ended up being a lemon and I ended up getting another car. And after driving it for 8 days, the oil pressure light warning came on and the car shut down. And the dealer that I got the car from sent the car to his mechanic. And a mechanic was on vacation for a week, so a car sat there. So by the time the mechanic came back, I gave it a week to try to figure out what was going on. I didn't hear anything. So when I called to check in on the car, I was told that the car was at the Hyundai dealership because of a known issue. Now, in the last vlog, I was telling you guys that after doing some research, I found out that it was multiple recalls and class action lawsuits for different models of Hyundai. And my 2015 Hyundai Elantra was under the models that had a class action lawsuit that was just settled earlier this year, and I think all the details of resolution are coming out this fall. So anyway, he ended up taking a car to the dealership, and I went to the dealership myself to check in. So they kept on telling me, the car hadn't been checked yet. I had to wait a few days. So by the time I finally found out what was going on, I was told the engine had seized. So I told you guys it could have been the oil pressure sensor needed replacing. It could have been the oil pan leaking. At the end of the day, when the car stopped, the car had oil. I told you the nuclear option could have been that the car needed a new engine. And just my luck, it happened to be the nuclear option. The engine has seized, the car needed a new engine. The dealership was trying to tell me that it was going to cost $7,000. Now, I'm not arguing with you because I'm not paying $7,000, but they were telling me that the class action lawsuit was due to this piston slap, and my car, the engine didn't shut down due to piston slap, it shut down due to neglect. Now, this was an outright lie because the car had some very detailed maintenance records with oil changes and everything. The car was very well maintained, so they were lying. So I'm like, you know what? Whatever, I'm not paying $7,000. I called the dealership where I got the car from. He said him and the mechanic would deal with it, give him a couple of days. So the mechanic calls back and argues with the dealership because he knows it's not neglect and he knows what's going on with the car. And they apologize after he spoke to a manager and agreed that they're going to replace the engine under goodwill. However, at this point, I don't want the car anymore because your engine seized and shut down. You're trying to make me pay $7,000 for it, and now you're going to replace the engine. And from the research I've been doing, some people on their second and third engine have to argue with them every time they get a new engine. So what happens if the new engine shut down? Then I have to argue with you to get a new engine and be without a car, and then we're having issues giving people loaner cars. I didn't want to deal with it. So I spoke to the dealership I got the car from. I'm like, I don't want the car. You can get the car fixed and send it to somebody else. I want to get a refund or I want to get a different car. Under lemon law, they have up to 3 tries to repair the car. So technically, I was supposed to let him get the engine repaired and give it back. But he agreed to let me choose another car of equal or lesser value, since it was a big thing for the engine to shut down after 8 days and it was no timeline on when it would be fixed because Hyundai was backed up. So I ended up going to the dealership over a couple of days and I found a nice 2009 Honda Accord LX in pretty good condition. It's actually in great condition. It just has a little bit of cosmetic wear which can be fixed easily. It's not going to cost a lot with a good detailing, and it needs new hubcaps. Eventually I will get rims in the spring, but it's about to be winter, so we'll be steelies and hubcaps until then, but we'll come back to that later on. So the only thing that was wrong with the car, which was a big issue, was the hood latch needed to be repaired. So the dealer sent it to his mechanic to be repaired, and the car came back today. And there's also a recall on the car. Now it's crazy because it's a nose mask recall from 2009, and the car has had 2 owners and no one has gotten it fixed. So I made an appointment today to take the car to the dealership to get the nose mask recall repaired and to get a multi-point inspection to make sure everything's okay. And if all is well, I'll be proceeding with the paperwork and transferring over my insurance and registration and taking the car home today. I'm still driving the Subaru Legacy dealer car, the loaner car that they gave me as a courtesy. I've been driving that car for almost a month, and I'll be so happy to get my own whip back. So that's where we are now. I know I'm talking fast, but I need to be out the door. I'm headed to the dealership where I got the car from to go pick up the Honda and then take it to the Honda dealership to get this stuff done. And we'll see what happens from there. So I'll be back, guys. Okay, y'all, so it's been so busy. I haven't even had a chance to check in. So I had went and picked up the Honda Accord from the dealer I was purchasing a car from and took it to the Honda dealership to get the recall fixed and get the complimentary multi-point inspection with service. Apparently, this car doesn't have a nose mask, even though the recall is open. The nose mask was already removed, and the nose mask is some ugly Batman-looking thing across the hood of the car. So there was no recall to be performed, so therefore no complimentary multi-point inspection, and they wanted to charge me $150. So what I did is schedule an oil change for tomorrow since it was a discount for new customers, and I get the complimentary multi-point inspection. But I went ahead and finished doing the paperwork for my car because it's Friday and I had to get my insurance and everything changed over. And the dealership has been very good about, you know, handling any problems. So if there's anything significant come up, he'll send it to his mechanic and fix it. But I wanted to get an oil change at the dealership anyway, just to make sure the right oil is in there and that I get the oil change for my records. So I'm sitting in the car right now. I have the car. My dad is coming up on next week. He's coming up. He's going to change the spark plugs and the PCV valve and make sure the MAF sensor is clean or change it if he needs to. My dad is very good with working on cars, especially like this car. It's a 4-cylinder Honda Accord, so it's easy to work on. My dad learned how to take apart engines and put them back together in the military, so he's really good with cars. And he's also going to hook it up to his diagnostic tool to, you know, make sure everything is good in his eyes. And also, I'm probably going to schedule to get the coolant and the transmission fluid drained and filled sometime soon, being that the car is has a good amount of miles, like 140,000 miles. You know, Hondas are known to drive 200, 250,000, 300,000 miles. So hopefully I'm good. You know, I've been having a lot of trouble with these cars. Hopefully third time is a charm, y'all. 3 cars in what? Technically 3 months, because I had got the BMW in May, but I was driving it from June. I got the Elantra in July. Now it's August. I have the Honda Accord. So yeah, literally 3 cars in 3 months. So I'm hoping third time's a charm and everything is good. And like I said, I'm taking it to the dealer to get things checked out. My dad is going to check it out. It needs some cosmetic stuff done. Nothing crazy. I need to detail it before winter. There's a crack in the housing of one of the mirrors that I'm going to get that housing replaced. What else? The hubcaps look horrible. They look beat down and broken down. I'm going to get me some nice rims in the spring. But for now, I'm going to leave the little beat down rusted steel wheels on and just get some pretty hubcaps to put over it until then, because you don't want to put your nice rims on in the winter. And I'll worry about cosmetic stuff later. I just want to make sure that, you know, mechanical and engine-wise stuff is running well. A good thing, my insurance went down about $70 a month from the Elantra. My insurance is on the expensive side because I have full coverage, and I also have my son on the insurance because he'll be driving, you know, the car. And when he gets his car, hopefully within the next 6 weeks, we'll be getting his car. His car is going to go on the insurance, and I'll assign his car to him and my car to me. If you have a child that's of driving age and has a driving license, you definitely need to put them on your insurance. It's not like back in the day. Actually, anybody that live in your house with a driver's license, if they don't have their own insurance, they'll be trying to put them on your insurance. I automatically put him on my policy, but if you try to hide people, your insurance company will put them on automatically, and then they might charge you more because they think you were trying to be slick and hide them. But quite frankly, you really should have your kids on your insurance if they're going to be driving your car, because God forbid they get into an accident, you want them covered in the same way you're covered. So definitely put your children on your insurance. And when they're young, you know, my son, he just turned 21. They gave me a partial refund when he turned 21. But until he turns 25, insurance is going to be very high for him if he has to get it on his own. So for now, I'll be keeping him under my insurance. He drives responsibly. As long as he's responsible, when he'll be paying his part of the insurance. But just put your kids on the insurance if they'll be driving your car. And if they get their own and you don't want to put them on and they get their own policy, fine, as long as they have insurance. But if they're driving your car, make sure you put them on the insurance. I know I'm rambling. I have a lot of information to share, and I'm like kind of hungry. Like, I'm starving. So if I'm rambling on and on, y'all, my mind ain't completely here. I ain't eat since this morning. I'm ready to eat. But I'm about to take my baby for her first wash and vacuum her out. I just have a really busy day for the rest of the day and a busy day tomorrow. But I'm going to keep y'all posted with everything I'm doing and let y'all know the end result of all the inspections and my daddy coming to check everything out. But for now, we're about to go clean this beauty. So I finished cleaning the car, y'all. It took me a while because I had to get some gunk that was left over from, I'm assuming, a bike rack on the hood, but I was able to get it off with some Canuba wax. But my girl is looking as shiny and new as she gonna look right now. She definitely needs to get a detail just to buff out the clear coat because she has some paint swirls and some light scratches. But overall, she looks good. Just number one, I need to get them ugly hubcaps off. I can't wait to get some rims, but new rims for the winter ain't smart, and winter start up here like end of October, so we real close. So I'm just have to get me some replacement hubcaps so I can stunt like my daddy at least on a budget until winter is over and spring is here and I can get me some nice rims. I want some matte black or gloss black. I prefer matte black, but some matte black rims. Those gonna look real nice, real nice. So I'm about to, I think I'm gonna treat myself to a milkshake because I'm at Stewart's. I came to Stewart's to get the car wash because weeks ago my son accidentally bought a car wash when he was getting gas, and this was the last day to use it, and it must be a sign that I got my car on the last day to use the car wash that he paid for. Actually, it was more than weeks ago. It probably was at least a month ago because he bought it when I had the Elantra, and I only was driving the Elantra for like 8 days. So since I'm at Stewart's, I vacuumed out the car. They detailed the car, so I didn't have to do much cleaning out the inside. But I think I'm gonna treat myself to a milkshake after all that hard work. And I've never had a milkshake from Stewart's, so that should be delightful. And then I'm gonna head home and get me something to eat. And I'll let you guys know what happens after the oil change and a multi-point inspection tomorrow. Ooh, y'all, it's been a crazy long day. I've been up since 5:45 this morning, dropped my son to work, came home, made some potato salad for my nephew's second birthday party, washed my hair, and I went to the dealership. Then I had to leave immediately and go pick up my son from work and drop him at his second job. We need our second car ASAP because this is a lot. But I wanted to come back in and tell y'all that, you know, I went to the dealership, I got an oil change and a multi-point inspection, and the car is in great condition. Only thing is I'm probably gonna have to get new tires soon because my front tires are starting to wear low. The driver's side more so than the passenger side, and there was like some residual oil in the engine area that could be coming from something, or it could be, like I asked him, possibly the PCV valve, but I'm not concerned because my dad is coming up this week to change the PCV valve and the spark plugs and to see if the MAF sensor needs to be cleaned to change, and he'll be able to get, you know, an assessment if he needs to do anything else because my stepmom actually has an 8th generation Honda Accord as well. She has a 2012. My dad does all the work on that car, so he knows what he's doing. And then the engine splash shield was dipping low a little bit in the center, and whoever had the car kind of connected, well, not kind of, they connected a zip tie to the transmission line. And I took a video and some pictures and sent it to my dad so he could look at it. And he said, you know, he'll look at it when he comes. It's not going to pop the line. It's just to keep it in place. But he'll see if, you know, he wants to cut it. And then I take it to get the splash shield adjusted, because the splash shield is not broken. They told me $600 to get a whole new one. I'm not paying $600 for a new splash shield when it's not broken, but I will pay to get some new holes put in it and get it adjusted if I need to. Other than that, I was able to order my passenger side mirror cap. I showed you guys it had a huge crack in it, so I ordered that. I also got a touch-up paint pen, which they had in stock, to fix some little minor chips that's in the paint where it looks a little rusty. They're very small, but I don't want them to get larger, so I'm going to sand those out and correct those with the paint pen. The hubcaps was on back order, but they were charging $85 a piece, which I am not paying for no hubcaps. So I'm going to get me some of those cheapy hubcaps and let them take these off the car since they're bolted on with lug nuts. And those hubcaps will hold me until, well, quite frankly, I'm going to have to get new tires. So I might be getting my rims sooner rather than later and just get rims that'll be able to last till winter. We'll see. I'll figure all of that out later, but I'm just happy to report that everything looks good with the car, and I'm so happy because I can't deal with another car heartbreak. So I'll be really glad. Oh, and they also brought out some crazy dirty engine and cabin filters telling me I needed new filters. But the thing is, I already purchased new filters and I know how to put them in, but I'm going to do my cabin filter and I'm going to let my dad walk me through the engine filter, because even though it's easy, he was saying there's something about closing it that may be a little difficult and he don't want me to crack something about a manifold that he doesn't want me to crack. So I'm gonna wait till my dad gets here so he can show me, you know, up close and personal what to do with the engine filter, so I know for the future. And I'm gonna go ahead and change the cabin filter myself, because it's very similar to how I did with the Hyundai Elantra. When you open up the glove box, it's pretty much in there. So that's it, y'all. Car is looking good. We'll know for sure if everything is good. Well, everything is good. Whatever needs to be done, my dad will be able to figure it out and he'll be able to fix it. Or if it's something minor, we'll go get that done. But it wasn't no metal in the oil or anything like that, which signifies an engine problem. And all of my fluids, let me see. I had the multi-point inspection right here. Everything was good. Transmission fluid, brake fluid, everything went in interior. He gave me brand new brakes. Everything is a 10 all across. Like, everything is really good. They said the car is pretty much in overall great condition. So I am happy. I'm gonna stop rambling right now because I have to go home and change my clothes and head to my nephew's birthday party. But thank y'all once again for staying on this journey with me and being patient, as I've been taking weeks to come out with videos because I couldn't deal. I had to get myself together, and it's like I couldn't focus on nothing else while I was trying to figure out this car situation. But one thing, since I had that loaner car for the whole time that I didn't have my car, I'm getting very comfortable driving. I'm no longer afraid on the highway at all, but I'm just aggravated with these people up here drive really crazy. They go across the whole highway without signaling, crossing in front of you. And I noticed everybody that drive like pickup trucks drive like a-holes. People drive so crazy, and you have to be like, one thing about learning how to drive in New York City, it taught me very good about like touch and go traffic. I hit them brakes and like just being a little aggressive, because at first I was scared on the highway and letting people run me off the highway, and now it's like, no, you're not running me off the highway. I know how to speed up and, you know, get in my lane if I need to. Like, I'm getting good. I'm not trying to be cocky. I'm getting more confident, but I'm also cautious. I still drive very cautious, because no matter how good of a driver you think you are, you have to watch everybody else on the road. And these people up here really test you. Like, they drive ridiculous. And even in the pouring rain, like I've had to drive in the pouring rain a few times already. Even on the highway, people speed, drive crazy, doing 70 and a 55-mile-per-hour highway in a pouring rain. And I'm like, you know, hydroplaning is a thing, so I'm scared when we get to snow to see what they're going to be doing. But I'm getting a lot better with my driving. I'm not going to say getting better. It wasn't that I couldn't drive. It's just that I hadn't driven in like 15 years. So now that I've been driving every day, I'm getting more comfortable, and I'm happy for that. So that's it for this vlog, y'all. Like I said, I'm about to go home and get dressed so I could get to my baby's party because it's started already almost an hour ago and I don't want to be too late. So that's it for now, y'all. I will talk to y'all soon.